Tanisha Price, I think this, what we're talking about is projects. The way it's set up now is to have the committee set up and define exactly what the project is to include. What are the details? What does the committee want? Get that all settled so that you can get a true budget, what it's going to take to continue on with that project.
Frank Red. I'm going to try to be cool, calm, and collected on this issue. Every one of our venues is budgeted to lose money. They're not budgeted to make money. And Mr. King just said that he would be out of business. Why is IVGID out of business? Because we have a thing called the rec fee. That's the all-purpose funding process to keep everything going here, no matter how much money they lose. I ran into our past general manager of the Skyline Beach ski area, and I said, how are things going this year? Oh, we're under budget. I said, I didn't ask you exactly how much you were making or not making, but you said you're under budget. Well, let's go to another question. How much did you lose? I don't know. You don't know when you're the general manager? How much did you make? You never made a profit. Go to any one of our venues and you get the same answer. They don't know. Our general managers of the venues don't know what they're making because it doesn't matter. We have an unlimited budget called the rec fee that pays for everything that we lose. Is that good planning? Is that good management? Would Mr. King be in business if he ran his business that way? I don't think so. Why are we still in business? It's called the rec fee. Thank you.
Paul Longshore. Well, not being on the board yet, I don't know how the process completely works. I don't know if anybody knows how the process works besides the board members, right? I mean, if they're having closed door meetings on how these budgets are gonna be processed and what's going across, that's something that you need to learn and need to understand. As of right now, I'm not exactly sure how their process works. But I would definitely take every opportunity to learn. There's the budget that's out there now that I've seen. You know, I've asked some people in the community, some people, like Mr. Goldberg, is very versatile in CPA issues and stuff like that. He gave me a lot of important information. You know, I did notice some things that I saw on some of the budget stuff as, you know, not reporting properly, no individual line items stated. Now, granted, I know that a bigger budget package might have those things in some of the lines broken down, but if you don't see that, or you're not on the board to see that, then you don't understand that. As far as, all I could say is I would take that opportunity to definitely use people in our community that are professionals in areas that I don't understand, and make sure that I understand before I make any type of vote. I'm not arrogant enough to think I can fix everything, but if I definitely didn't understand something, I'd make sure I'd understand it before I vote on it. Thank you.
One quick announcement, the yellow mic is starting to go, so if you guys can maybe use other ones. We got a 4 inch bag.
I'll use the this color one.
Yeah. Excellent, very good.
Okay, let's start this with Peter Morris. We're on question number 8 now, so we're past what we were originally planning. This is good. So this is a 2-part question. How many IVGID board meetings, budget planning sessions, and other IVGID board sessions have you attended in the past 12 months? With that, how would you propose, if at all, to make board meetings more effective?
Peter Morris, and that is a great question because it actually gives me an opportunity to say something. I am concerned that it does seem that several of the candidates haven't really taken the time to understand, to learn about IVGID. I've been going to IVGID board meetings and retreats, workshops for about 2 years now. I have not attended every one, but I've also spent many hours online reviewing back through all of those online meetings. So the short answer is very many. I can't give you an absolute number. I think they're all extremely interesting. There was a second part to your question which I've forgotten.
Absolutely. So, with that, how would you propose, if at all, to make board meetings more effective?
I think one of the challenges with the board meetings that I've come to realize and come to learn is that with Nevada open meeting laws, there's only certain things that one can do prior to a board meeting. Everything needs to be done in public for every good reason, of course. But making sure that we're better educated prior to the board meeting, that we do know what's going on, that we have talked to all of the staff. I would commend everybody to talk to staff. They're really wonderful people and very, very informative. And then I think at the meeting, to make sure that we're not just seen to be rubber stamping, that we're asking the questions that need to be asked. Frankly, I think many of them will actually have been asked of staff prior to the meeting, and be seen to be really transparent and decisive.
Matthew Dent. I started attending board meetings in the winter of 2011 during the budget process. And since I am on the board, and we average about 3 meetings a month, and I've been there about 9 months, so about 27 meetings. To make it more efficient or more interactive, I believe having an agendized item for questions and answers with the public would be a great way to get the public's questions answered. Thank you.
Hello again. I've probably been to about 4. I am involved in other ways. I was on the peak steering committee. I do watch every live stream to keep up to date with what's going on with IVGID. It's really easy because I could sit there with a glass of wine and I could get frustrated about what somebody said. I could take a big sip, but be that as it may. I think it'd be helpful if the board packets came out a bit earlier. There's a lot of information to absorb, and sometimes it's just absolutely overwhelming. So I think that would be a big help. I know that the board has done things to limit public comment or to restructure it so the meetings are shorter. I don't know if there's much else that actually can be done because we have to abide by the statutes. Thank you.
Stephen Thomason, on the question about how many meetings I've been to in the past 12 months, I will tell you honestly, it's been 0. Between myself and my wife, with the small children we have, the business that we run, the hours I keep are a lot longer than most of you are probably awake, probably some days. I work a lot of insane hours. The reason why I'm running, is I want to help make a difference in this community, and I do want to know more. I am more than willing to learn and spend as much time possible as I can to attend more, to actually get up myself to some meetings in the very near future here. I do have quite a few individuals I do know that are on the board already that I am in contact with, so I'm not completely blind to what's happening. Even though I'm not able to attend for work reasons, the way things currently are, doesn't mean I don't hear what's happening. I still have my ear definitely open and available to what is going on and how things are being handled by the board and by the community at large that are able to attend. So in the near future, obviously, I'd like to get some more, and with rescheduling and my business growing as it is, I will be able to finally start attending some of these meetings, and you will be seeing my face there. Thank you.
Judy Miller. I've been attending most board meetings probably for at least 5 or 6 years, maybe missed 10%, but not that many. I really appreciate the fact that we have live stream now, so if there is a time when I am babysitting my little grandchildren, I can still check in or at a later date and keep abreast of what's going on. One of the things, though, that's sort of disappointing, since the decision was made to curtail public comments, there's only one at the beginning and one at the end. I've noticed a marked drop in the attendance at the board meetings. People feel like, well, if all I can do is make 3 minutes of comment, and then once the discussion starts and all the individual items are considered, I can't even chime in anymore and be part of the conversation. So I really would like to see us go back to having public comment at least after each general business item. I think that's good enough. Let's let people get on and finish up the questions.
Steve King. So probably in the past year, I've been to about half a dozen meetings. A lot of people don't know. It seems like they like the live stream, right? Somewhat. we actually helped research that project. So we put, a couple bids, they picked, I think, Jared, that's correct, you picked our solution? Yeah, those one. Thank you, Jared. So, and I think I put, by doing that live streaming solution, I put 30+ hours of free time. It did not get charged. So, at the end of the day, I want to help our community any way possible. Thank you.
Fisher Price, I started attending the meetings in 2009, and I found that the meetings were dragging on and on and on, and becoming 3+ hours, so I stopped attending it and I switched over to the live stream. The issue with live stream, I find out sometimes is the sound cuts out, so I would fire off an email to Jim or to Susan, let them know the sound cut out. Talking to Steve Pickerton last week, he says a new service is going to be provided soon, and that should help the issue.
Frank Wright. The board meetings have become a travesty. They've taken away our voice. 3 minutes before, 3 minutes after the meeting, and then they have budget meetings, hearings, all kinds of things that we really need to have community input in, and we don't get to do it anymore. They've taken away our voice. The board meetings have become a desert. No one's out there. Opening public comments, then people leave. No one's sitting there listening to all the things taking place. It's done by design. They want to shut the public up, and they want to continue doing what they're doing with our money without your input. How many meetings have all these guys been to? I've been to almost every one of them for the last 8 years. Every one of them. I know what's going on. You can go ahead and elect a candidate that's up here who doesn't have an insight right now to what goes on at these board meetings, and doesn't have an insight to the behavior of our board, our government, our employees, or you can elect somebody like me who is well-informed, understands things, can make a difference, or you'll end up with the alternative results, which is more losses, more expending of our money, more bonds that you don't have any voice in. We can't retire the bonds we have now, but they're proposing $50 million in more bonds. Thank you.
Paul Longshore. I've been to probably 5 or 6 over the last year, working stiff like the Steves. So I try to get there whenever I can. I mean, I've actually even taken, personal time to make sure I have time off to go to some of the hot topic meetings. And so I do what I can to get there. If the future thing with my job, you never know what's gonna happen last minute. But I'm close to retirement, so hopefully within the next year or two I'll be retired, and I'll be able to definitely make sure I'm at every meeting, especially if I'm elected, I gotta be there. Anyways, as for making them more effective, from what I've seen, they're pretty good. They're pretty barren, though, like you said. There's not very many people that go to them anymore.